Hey guys, Dan Clancy here. I'm out on Lake St Clair and today I want to talk to you about the hydrowave. I constantly get asked by people whether I believe in the hydrowave, whether it works, how to use it, so I thought I'd put a quick video together and try and get as most of those questions answered as I can. The first one, do I believe in the hydrowave? There's not a piece of equipment on my boat that I don't believe in. Everything that I have on the boat, whether it be rods, reels, electronics, I wouldn't have them if I didn't think they worked. I've had the hydrowave on for a while now, and the things that I've learnt and seen, it's been astonishing. Every time I get on the water, I'm learning new things. The hydrowave, like any electronics, they've come a long way in 10 years, and it's nothing different to the introduction of the hydrowave to Australia. You're pretty hard pressed to find a boat in the States that doesn't have one, and it's looking that way in Australia now as well. On the tournament scene this year, they've really had a big imprint on the success. I think there's a lot of guys that have been up in the top 10 every tournament that have had the hydrowave on and said that it's worked. So you can't really argue with results. But so today I'm going to be fishing a bit of deep and a bit of shallow work, so I can try and show you how I use it in both situations. The hydrowave for me is a big part of masking a lot of the foreign sounds that we have on our boats. So as much as your electric motor is a lot quieter than your outboard, it's still really noisy underwater. The fish can hear it, it shuts them down. So a lot of it is taking away all those foreign sounds that we have on our boats and replacing it with natural sounds coming out of the hydrowave. It's not all about just turning it on and the fish are going to bite. It's like anything, you have to learn how to use it and the right time to use it and the right situation of the weather and that sort of thing. So I run on the general rule of if there's a lot of noise around, you turn it up. If it's quiet and still like we have today, you turn it down. You don't need it blaring if it's a really still day. So it's just like lure choice when you get on the water. You have to figure out what sound you're going to use, the volume that you're going to use it on, and that sort of thing. So it's not just going to happen overnight when you put one on. Just go out there, have a play with it, look on the sounder, see how the fish react, and eventually it'll come to you and you'll know when to use it, on what sounds and what volume. So we'll get out and give it a go. So I'm going to start up on the edge here today, and I'm going to start with a pretty soft sound, actually it'd be a medium sound. And I'm going to start with fleeing shad. I'm going to have it up to about a third in volume, and basically all I'm trying to do is get those fish out of the weed and up and alert and already looking for my plastic. So I'm going to be casting plastic over the weed. If the fish are really deep in it like they are, you can make a cast, and by the time they come out and realise it's there, you've already wound in, you've made your next cast. So basically what we're trying to do is get them to hear that hydrowave, come out of the weed, look at what's going on, so when your plastic does go in there, it's already up and it's already on the hunt, it's already looking for what that noise is. So it's half the battle won if you've already got them out of the structure. Nice. Now I'm not sure if you just seen, but I was using a plastic and I had some really little bites and little taps, so I changed a little bit. I turned the hydrowave up, I moved in a bit tighter, and I threw a more aggressive bait. Hopefully that, I was hoping that'd really fire them up sort of thing, and it's worked. Within a few casts that's come out, so that's awesome. So we're just coming back out onto a steeper section of bank now. I've had the hydrowave turned down for being in for a shallow bay. So now we're on that steeper edge and there's a really thick weed bed along it. I'm just going to crank it up a little bit again. Try and get them out and looking for that bait. While I'm working an edge like this, I like to have the hydrowave on the constant setting. You can choose between a 30-second loop or a constant sound. Because we're moving along and constantly moving along the bank, it's good to have it constantly going. If I was out over at the top of the fish and I was on the same spot, I'd have it on a 30-second loop so it just wasn't in their face over and over and over again. It's given that 30-second loop, keeps them wondering, keeps them looking around, and you'll notice that on your sounder as well. Yes. I've just seen a couple fish out here under us. So just made a couple of setting changes. Just instantly seen them burr up a little bit and missed one straight up. Yeah, got him. We're in really shallow water here too, just off a little point. You know, like in that shallow water, it's not often you can catch them straight under your boat like that. Like I said, masking the sound of the boat is a massive thing, and it's only a little fish, but it's a fish, and to get him to bite in that shallow water and to see how they reacted on the sounder of a change in sound, you know, you can't argue with that sort of thing when you see it happening right in front of your eyes on the screen. So hopefully we can get a couple more of them. That's another thing I found, is when you're fishing these schooled fish, or a patch of fish, a lot of the time when you catch one, it'll shut a school or a patch of fish down, but with the hydrowave going, it seems to to keep them on the chew sometimes, and you know, it won't have that effect on them. When you pull one out of the school, it won't shut them down, it'll actually keep them going. Alrighty guys, that's it for today. I hope you've learned a bit on the hydrowave and how I go about using it on my days on the water. We've caught fish up tight at the edge today, end out wide, and for me, again, it was great to see how they reacted to different sounds and different settings, especially when I was up in that shallow water. I've got the sounder right next to me hydrowave. Got up in that shallow water, you can see as I'm changing the settings how the fish react to it. And to catch them on the jigs up there in like 15 foot of water right under the boat, it was great, and great to see how they react to those different settings. If you have any more questions on the hydrowave, just jump on the hydrowave Facebook page or website, have a talk to Jace. He'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Or if you see me out here on the water, come and see me. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. The limits are endless with these things, so get out there, give it a go, make it suit how you fish, the lures you're going to fish and the conditions, and you're going to have a great day. Cheers guys.